Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your Dark Mask Diva. And I've been getting questions about why good looking people don't realize they're good looking, but ugly people don't realize they're ugly. I know, funny question, but I got asked that. Okay, so this is kind of the thing about this is just my opinion. Okay, so you might get in the comment section and have some other kind of opinion. That's fine, because this is not based on science. So you might just have some other opinion. That's fine. So this is how I feel about the less attractive people. Okay, some of them are some of them have confidence based on other things, like they have they have a lot of riz even though they are not so good looking. Okay, so despite the fact that they may not be aesthetically pleasing, there's just something about them, something that comes from the inside that's projecting out, that's making them attractive. Okay, so they don't have the best set of features or the best, physique or whatever, but they just have all that riz, and there's something that's referred to as ugly hot, so they're just, we've all seen this with like performers. There are a lot of performers that aren't, if you just objectively saw them on the street and they weren't famous, they weren't rich, they didn't have any talent or anything, you probably would not find this person very attractive. All right, but they just have that je ne sais quoi. All right, so there are these other people too that are these ordinary people. They work with you or go to school with you or whatever, and they just have a lot of riz. All right, but they are not technically good looking. Okay, they don't realize that a lot of their appeal is actually their personality. They think there's something about their looks that's also appealing. Okay, they don't realize that it's all personality, that it's all coming from within. They think that their looks are also pretty and handsome. Okay, they don't realize that it's all personality. Some people just have such a beautiful personality. Some people are just that cool. Some people are just that talented. Some people just have that beautiful of a voice. Some people just have there's just something that you're just connecting that, deeply. You're just in love with whatever else that person has to offer, that you are so attracted to whatever else that is. And it's not their looks. And not everybody is into looks, right? Now, we know that looks are very important. Let's not say they're not, okay? But not everybody is all about looks. Okay, you got to admit, there's a lot of people you've probably gone out with and you were not really attracted to their looks, but the more you got to know them, you liked them for some other reason. Okay, you just you felt safe with them. They were just consistently cool. They always cheered you up. They did nice things for you. They got along with your family. They were a good friend to you. There was just something you really liked about them. All right, so what they did was they thought that you were a high quality person. They thought that you were a physically attractive person, okay? Because you probably are, right? If you watch my channel, you're probably physically attractive, okay? They thought if they could pull you, they must be physically attractive. But that's not why you liked them. You liked them for all those other things that they brought to the situation, okay? They didn't realize that they were just that cool. They thought that they must be fine or whatever. They thought they must be really attractive. And so they brought that confidence. When you all broke up, they brought that confidence into their next dating experience. They brought that confidence, next time they were at the club or next time they were socializing, next cocktail party, whatever, wherever they went, in their mind, they think they're more attractive than they really are. Okay, so they're going around thinking more highly of their physical appearance than they need to. You know, they thought that you were more attractive to them physically than you really were. It was just that you really didn't care about their looks so much because you liked everything else about them. Okay, so they're going around thinking that they're good looking. Okay, so there are these other people too that sometimes, I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Sometimes you pay somebody a compliment and you're attractive. You pay someone a compliment like, I really like your shirt. That's a good color on you. Okay, you're attractive. They mistake that for you. They think you're attracted to them because you said something nice. Maybe you're just a nice person, or maybe they did look nice that day and you felt like saying something nice to them. Okay, because you're nice. Okay, in their mind, you like them. Because some people are just like that. They take anything as encouragement and they take it to heart, and they take it like, they take it to mean more than it really did mean. So their self-esteem just went through the roof, right? And you know, and they think you like them more than you really do. You just thought they looked a little nicer today and a little less ugly today, and you thought you would tell them about it, you know, and they took it to mean something else, right? So that's another thing. And here's another thing that's just, this is just really sad, but you're good looking and you accidentally made eye contact with somebody. You didn't mean to, but you just looked up from your phone for a second, you made eye contact, and you didn't look angry. And maybe you were smiling because you were thinking of something nice that happened earlier that day, and you were smiling and looking at them, and you didn't even mean to smile at them, but you did. Okay, they took it wrong. So they think an attractive person smiled at them that day, so they think they're attractive. They're like, oh, that, you know, that cute girl from the store smiled at me, that cute guy from the bus stop smiled at me, or, you know, and it totally changed their perspective. All right, well, good for them for liking themselves, but they are grasping at straws. All right, the way they grew up, okay, they had a lot of positive reinforcement. They had family members, they had people around them praising them, telling them they were pretty and handsome, and they weren't. Okay, but they had people around them telling them they were pretty and handsome, so they believe it. Okay, it's just that they had people around them who loved them, and the people loved them, so the people thought they were pretty and handsome. You know, it was their mom and dad and their grandma and everybody who just adored them and wanted to give them self-esteem, so they told them they were pretty and handsome. Because people who love you, they automatically love you, so they automatically think you're pretty and handsome. So, you know, like, hopefully you're telling your own kids that they're pretty and handsome, right? So that's just what people do. And sometimes, you know, you're told something enough times, and this happens sadly all too often. People give your kids a negative message and you believe the negative message. So that happens positively too. If you're given a positive reinforcement enough times, you start believing the positive reinforcement. You know, if someone's telling you you're beautiful all the time, you know, it's like, hey, you might believe it. So, you know, they might have had someone, you know, telling them they're pretty or handsome a whole bunch of times, and it just finally sunk in. Who knows? Okay, here's another thing. They're attracted to you. So they're projecting. That's a thing in psychology. They're projecting, and they think you're attracted to them because they're attracted to you. And that happens a lot in psychology projection, unfortunately. So that's when an entitlement comes in. And that's rooted in sexism, and that can happen in both genders. Okay? So that's when you start feeling harassed by people. So that's why I'm making this face, because it's disgusting, and I know we've all been through it with somebody, and they just can't believe that you don't like them back. And this is when somebody is both ugly and has a crappy personality, because you're annoyed that they won't leave you alone. You're just like, when I'm talking about somebody being ugly, I don't mean just their looks. I mean their personality, okay? Because I can forgive somebody for not being the best looking. But when you have a crappy personality to go with it, like, seriously, leave me alone. I mean, I don't like people with crappy personalities. So I just want people with crappy personalities to leave me alone. That's what I'm saying, I guess. I'm not articulating that very well. But I just want people with crappy personalities to leave me alone. And, I mean, I can be nice to people who maybe aren't the best looking and they have nice personalities, because I like nice people. But, it just seems like the people with the crappy personalities, those are the people who won't leave you alone. Okay, and they're the ones that just seem clueless for whatever reason. They're the ones that really just seem entitled, and those are the people that I've got the problem with. All right, so this is what I've noticed. Let me know in the comments if you notice the same thing. Okay, so like you're on social media, and they will have these social media posts where I may not be the best looking, I'm just average. And you're just like, no, you are fugly. And you're thinking that because you're also taking their personality into account. Now, you're not gonna tell them they're fugly, because then you're gonna get some kind of strike from, the owner of the site. But you're also not mean, right? I mean, I'm not mean enough to do that to somebody. But I'm sitting there going, this person doesn't realize that they've got a repulsive personality, but they're also repulsive looking, and they're sitting there calling themselves average. They got enough people to hang around them and like them, but they also don't realize they're obnoxious. They also don't realize that they just weren't gifted with good looks. But they're also attracted to so many other people. They think that people are attracted to them. It's kind of like Dunning-Kruger with the intelligence thing, but it's a looks thing, right? And like I said before, a lot of people don't know why a good-looking person is going out with them unless they were also good-looking. Okay, let me tell you something about good-looking people. Good-looking people don't necessarily go out with other good-looking people. And I know that, like, that's a funny-sounding thing, but good-looking people are kind of over it. Like, good-looking people kind of take their good looks for granted, right? Good-looking people are looking for people they can trust, people who can provide, okay? People who have integrity, all right? People who can make them laugh, because the life of a good-looking person is weird. People act really weird around you when you're good-looking, okay? So good-looking people need a lot of levity in their lives, okay? Because people say weird things to you when you're good-looking, like at least once a day. There's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of there's a dark side to pretty privilege. So you need somebody to help keep you grounded. Okay, so you don't necessarily look for another good looking person who's suffering with the same thing. You look for somebody who might even be your opposite, right? So a good looking person doesn't necessarily look for another good looking person. They might look for somebody who offers some kind of counterbalance. So if a good looking person goes out with you, that does not necessarily mean that you are also good looking. They're looking for some trait they admire in you. It might not be your looks. All right. And there are other things in life besides being good looking. Okay. So, don't think because you pulled a good looking person that you're good looking. All right. Maybe there's something else they're looking for. Okay. Both people in the relationship don't have to be good looking. So say like some ugly person is hitting you up all the time. Don't take it like you're ugly. Okay? It's just that they're attracted to you. Take it like there's a job and there's just a lot of underqualified applicants. Okay? A lot of obnoxious people, a lot of underqualified people. If you're attractive, you're going to attract everything. If you're beautiful, you are going to get a lot of unwanted attention. And I'm talking to men and women. You're going to get a lot of unwanted attention from people from all walks of life. You're going to get a lot of creepy words from everybody, from men and women. You're going to get a lot of strange things happening at work. You're going to just get a lot of weird stuff going on. Don't take it like they're aligning with you, okay? Don't take it with that you're attracting your equal vibration. These people are just, everybody's attracted to you. So don't take it, I'm saying this like, don't take it personally, okay? That ugly person doesn't think you two look alike. You know, unless that ugly person is delusional and thinks they're good looking. They don't think you're ugly, is what I'm saying. So, I hope that was helpful. I hope it wasn't too insulting to anybody, but it probably was. But, anyway, that's, I think that's all I have to say about the particular subject, and I hope it helps somebody. And I love you all, and I will see you in the next content. Bye-bye.